This is Prayag from Mauritius. First of all, I would like to thank the Myanmar Engineering Council for this opportunity to share the journey that our Institution of Engineers of Mauritius took from 2017 to 2024 to achieve the status of provisional membership of the Washington Accord. Let me explain a little bit who we are. We're a small island developing state. Mauritius is a small island developing state in the southwest of the Indian Ocean, with a population of 1.3 million. It is overwhelmingly a welfare state where health and education services are provided free. Education, for example, is free from the age of 3, pre-primary school to university level, and health services are free from birth to death. Competition in a small country like ours is fierce for jobs, and government has set a goal of making Mauritius a regional educational hub some time back, and hence the objective of the government is to produce engineering graduates of an international level, benchmarked with the Washington Accord. In this context, Mauritius has made outcome-based education compulsory from 2017 by having a new Higher Education Act. Furthermore, in the context of the new world, and more specifically the climate change, a new breed of engineers would be required to solve complex problems, as yet unencountered, and we know for certain that Mauritius will be impacted by sea level rise, loss of land in coastal areas, floodings, landslides, etc. Training of engineers, therefore, to an internationally recognized standard will provide also mobility to the Mauritian trained engineers in the region and generally anywhere across the world, as well as to encourage overseas aspiring engineers to come and study in Mauritius. In 2016, the Institution of Engineers of Mauritius decided to take up the challenge to set up the Engineering Accreditation Board for the accreditation of engineering degree programs in line with the standards set by the Washington Accord. By coincidence, in 2017, IEM, Institution of Engineers of Mauritius, benefited from a grant from the Royal Academy of Engineers of the UK for a 6-month project under the GCRF Africa Catalyst. During this 6-month project, IEM laid the foundation for institutional capacity building, leading to eventually meeting the requirements of the Washington Accord. With the successful implementation of this pilot project, IEM submitted an application to the Royal Academy for a further 3-year funding leading to the setting up of the EAB. Unfortunately, this was not approved because the submission was judged to be more of a national project with not enough regional outreach. So IEM then turned to the Minister of Education and made the case for funding to set up the Engineering Accreditation Board and put forward arguments for the benefit of such a project. In parallel, Institution of Engineers of Mauritius contacted Engineering Council of South Africa, and the latter was already engaged at the accreditation of engineering programs at the University of Mauritius. Our negotiations with EXA led to the signature of an MOU for a period of 5 years for EXA to mentor Institution of Engineers towards provisional membership of the Washington Accord. Mentoring by EXA started in 2018. A work plan over 5 years was agreed, and various meetings and workshops were organized. Furthermore, EXA allowed IEM to align our accreditation documents with those of EXA. In 2021, the then president of WFU, Dr. Marlin Kanga, kindly facilitated getting the National Board of Accreditation of India to be the second mentor for IEM for the Washington Accord project. In 2021, other MOUs were signed with the National Board of Accreditation of India and the WIPO's Engineering Education Committee to assist IEM towards achieving Washington Accord status. From 2021 to 2023, significant improvements were made in the IEM Constitution to make the EAB totally independent and autonomous. IEM put up its EAB organizational structure, produced EAB accreditation documentations to comply with the International Engineering Alliance's Washington Accord requirement for provisional status. This slide here shows the timeline for achieving some of the landmarks. You can see that the EAB was set up in 2018. The Engineering Constitution was amended in 2019, and again, second time in 2021 at the request of the mentors. We set up committees to prepare the documents, and documents were prepared, peer-reviewed, and published in 2022. Continuous training of evaluators, both from the academy and in the industry, this started in 2018 and is still continuing today. Registry of Trained Evaluators was prepared and published. IEM also carried out mock accreditation of 4 programs at 2 different universities in 2022 in the non-participatory presence of our mentors from NBA and the EXA. And last year, in 2023, 4 programs, again at 2 different universities, were accredited, and in the presence of our mentors again. And you will see that that led us to complete our preparation for uploading our application for provisional membership. And this was done in February, on the 8th of February, 2022. So our aim is what? Our aim is to satisfy all the requirements our aim had been to satisfy all the requirements in view of applying for provisional membership. So we satisfied all the requirements under Schedule B1 of the EIA rules and procedures, which defines the criteria for admission to provisional membership status of the Accord, with respect to the characteristics of the accreditation body, of course. IEM had published its policy governing the accreditation system and defined the criteria for accreditation of programs. IEM being a SID, a small and developing state, and we looked around to see what kind of model of EAB, Engineering Accreditation Board, that would suit best Mauritius. We searched around, and after going through the Canadian, Australian, Malaysian, and different other models, we decided to adopt the model of the Institution of Engineers of Singapore because of the size of the islands and the population also. And we amended our constitution in 2019 to establish the Engineering Accreditation Board. In this model of Singapore, we decided that IEM Institution of Engineers will be the applicant for membership to the Washington Accord, but delegated to the Engineering Accreditation Board that was set up the authority to undertake accreditation in absolute total independence. This is why in 2021 we had to change again the constitution. So under the guidance of the mentoring team, we brought further amendments to the constitution to ensure that EAB is absolutely and totally and completely independent and autonomous to carry out its function without the influence of any stakeholder, including the universities and the Council of IEM itself. In this endeavor, much emphasis was placed on ethics and professionalism. In an MOU between CRP, that is the Council of Registered Professional Engineers of Mauritius, this is the statutory body that registers professional engineers in Mauritius, and the Institution of Engineers, which was signed in 2018, and it was again amended in 2022 at the request of our mentors to fully align ourselves with the requirements of the Washington Accord. CRP, the Council, duly recognized under this MOU that the Engineering Accreditation Board has established itself as the sole and uncontested accreditation agency within the Republic of Mauritius for the accreditation of engineering programs, meeting the graduate attributes, criteria, and recommended procedures as set by the Washington Accord. The Council of Registered Professional Engineers also declared and confirmed that any engineering program that the Engineering Accreditation Board may approve or that may accredit shall be deemed to satisfy the education requirements for registration as a registered professional engineer in Mauritius under the Registered Professional Engineers Act of 1966. This slide gives a view of the organizational structure of the EAB, with at the top the EAB board and the Accreditation Appeal Committee. Then we have the Accreditation Committee, we have the Documentation Review Committee, the Program Evaluation Committee. We had also set up drafting committees for accreditation documents and for training material. We had a committee for organizing workshops, still have, of course, for organizing workshops, seminars, training, for ensuring continuous education programs. We had a committee for budgets and financing. All these works were supported by a permanent administration secretariat. With the agreement of the Engineering Council of South Africa, Engineering Accreditation Board of Mauritius aligned its accreditation documents with those of EXA, defining its policies to set, approve, evaluate, and execute accreditation criteria and procedures. After a final review of the documents on accreditation policy, standards, criteria, and procedures by the mentoring team and the EAB Documentation Review Committee, complete set of 11 documents was published on the IEM website in December 2022. We, at the IEM Institution of Engineers of Mauritius, we had a four-pronged approach for training of evaluators. First, EAB had put in place mechanisms and documentation for training of evaluators, both from academicians and from industry. Two, with the assistance of the WFU, Engineering Education Committee, EXA and NBA, and local resource persons. Our EAB, our Accreditation Board, had organized between the year 2017 to 2022 over 150 hours of training spanning over 40 sessions. Three, EAB has on its register a pool of over 50 trained evaluators, both from academicians and industry,